Welcome back, and this is going to be my final video of this set. This is just going to be going over what I feel how I feel each class is going to do in this expansion. So, to make the key point here, two key points. Number one is going to be the Descent of Dragons cards. So, if you got if you're like Priest, and I think Priest got mostly mediocre cards. Like, maybe their best card is like Envoy of Lazul or Breath of the Infinite, like one of those cards. But for the most part, if you get mediocre cards in this set, that's going to hurt you a lot. And then you also have to factor in these sets that are rotating in, which, if you're unaware, are Rusticon's Rumble, the Grand Tournament, Knights of the Frozen Throne, One Night in Karazhan, and Blackrock Mountain, all dragon-themed sets. So my class ratings is going to be based on those sets. A combination of those sets rotating in, the basic classic set not being subject to the bucket system anymore, as well as the Descent of Dragons cards. So, to get started, my pick for the number one class is going to be Paladin. Now, Paladin does not have necessarily the best cards in Descent of Dragons. They got some pretty good cards, like not Nosdormal. Where is it? Amber Watcher. Like between Amber Watcher and go down. Bronze Explorer right here. They got some really good cards, really powerful cards. They got Sanctuary, which is insane if it goes off early. They got Skyclaw for a mid-range minion. But the rest of their cards are pretty mediocre. So where Paladin gets really, really strong is that, number one, their buffs work really well with this set, I believe. And number two, again, they're getting back, because they're getting a lot of buffs. They still have Seal of Champions. They still have Silver Moon Portal. They have Blessing of Kings coming in. I think Paladin is going to do real well because of the combination of the buffs of the cards they have, plus DoD being a good set, plus being one of the classes that has access to healing. My number two class is going to be Shaman. Shaman has, I would say, by far the best DoD cards of any class. Just Squall Hunter, Storm's Wrath, Cumulo Maximo. Those are all insane cards by themselves. Lightning Breath, if you get Dragon Synergy, and because you're going to have Squall Hunter, you're going to have Dragon Synergy, is going to be an insane card. Their legendaries are insane. They don't have a single bad card, and because their Gallic-run cards are all going to are not going to show up, that means they're going to have an even stronger boost to their class set. Plus, they get cards like Maelstrom Portal. They get cards like Thunderbolt Valiant. They get cards like Totem Golem. So they get a lot of strong cards, and they get finishers, and they get a lot of over-templed minions. And yeah, I think Shaman is one of they got enough power that they can overcome Shaman just being a bad class. Number three is Rogue. Rogue, like Paladin, they didn't really get that many great cards. Like, their best card is maybe Flybooter, maybe Nethrun Mutpawkeri. These fine cards, but they're not really great. But with what Rogue has is their hero power. And that hero power is always going to be great. And the cards they got rotating in, they got really powerful cards. Like, again, Eviscerate's back, Assassinate's back, Defies is back. Like, they're going to be, you are going to see those cards a lot. They got cards like Swashbuckler that came in. They got cards like Buccaneer that are back in. They got cards like Undercity Valiant. They got a lot of cards that are going to be really, really strong, and their just base set is so good that I can't see them ever being outside the top three. Number four is Mage. Mage got possibly the worst set of all the classes. But they've only got one super premium card in Rolling Fireball, and the rest of their cards are okay to very situational. What Mage has is, as I mentioned, Fireball, Polymorph, Pyroblast, all of those no longer being under the effect of the bucket crunch, and they will be seen a lot more than they were in the last year and a half. And they got things like Babbling Book coming in, and they got things like, they got Flame Lance, they got Firelance Portal. Firelance Portal could just carry Mage to top 4 by itself. So yeah, Mage, I think they're ultimately going to be number 4, basically on the back of their basic classic set and Firelance Portal. And as mediocre as the Descent of Dragons set is, I don't think it's going to hurt them that much. Number 5 class is going to be Warlock. What I will say, if Dragon Synergy. If I really underestimated how good Dragon Synergy is, Warlock's going to be number 1. Because just between Craze Netherwing, just Craze Netherwing by itself might be enough to pull Warlock to number 1. But ultimately, Warlock, they got bad cards, but Netherwing and Netherbreath should be enough if you get dragons to make them an average class. And sometimes you're going to get the dragon decks and you're just going to steamroll to 12. Sometimes you're going to go for them, you're going to fail, and you're just going to do poorly in Arena. And then with the cards with Warlock has rotating in, they have Imp Gang Boss coming in from, they have one of the strongest sets rotating in because they have Imp Gang Boss from BRM. But they also have from AFT, they have Despicable Dreadlord and they have Defile. And both of those cards are just completely busted AoE cards. And on top of that, they have Demon Bolt from Rastakhan's Rumble. Like, these are all premium cards, but I just think that Warlock is not going to be able to get dragons enough that it's going to kind of drag the set down. Like, they're still going to be good. Like, there's a large jump from number 5 to number 6, but I think like they're only going to be okay to good. I don't think they're going to dominate everything. All right. Number 6 class is Warrior. I think Warrior is actually going to do pretty decent here. So Warrior, their DoD set, again, they have Galakrond cards that are all removed. So if you take a look, like their worst card is what? It's Skybarge, and that's still fine. And they got 4 really 1, 2, 3, 4. They got 4 cards that are easily 70 and above. 2 of them are going to be close to 90 and one's going to be an 80. They have absolutely insane Descent of Dragons cards. With cards that they have rotating in, they got base card that's rotating in, and this is the reason I have them at 6, Dragon Roar. Dragon Roar, if you forget, was 2 mana. Put 2 random dragons in your hand. Yep. So they're going to benefit from the fact that a lot of the dragons are incredibly overpowered. They've got from Rastakhan's Rumble the they got Solthraz's weapon, and they got the card, I can't remember it, but it's the 3 mana 3/2 that kills a minion that's damaged if you're holding a dragon. So, and they've got things like Emberscale Drake, which can trigger that. So yeah, Warrior, because of Rastakhan's Rumble, because of how strong this set is, I honestly think that they're not going to be in the gutter and they're going to be number 6. Number 7 is Druid. So Druid has really powerful cards. Embiggen is a really powerful card. Emerald Explorer is a really powerful card. Coming in, they still have UI as like a broken card. Like, they have a few broken cards. The problem is that Druid has always had good cards and great cards, but very, very few possibly broken cards. And where they made their strength when they were really, really good, it was when Druid had a lot of burst potential through board buffs or through damage buffs. And they don't have that. Like, none of the sets that rotated in have any sort of damage buffs like that for Druid. There's I'm going to double check here, but I think it's like a Blessing of the Ancients is like a card that would be really, really good for Druid, and they don't have that. Forest Day would be a card really, really good for Druid. They don't have that. Oh, that's not board buff, but it's a really large thing. No Mark the Lotus, no Branching Paths. They don't have any of those large cards, so they don't do well with Swarm. They don't have any good hard removal. Like, they have Mulch, but Mulch isn't really... It's good, but it's clearly a kind of a janky removal. They don't really have all that much top-tier stuff. So it's kind of like get UI or Embiggen or get Emerald Explorer, or you're just going to have to just drag your way up. So I don't see them doing all that well. Let's see here. Number 8 is going to be... Sorry, no, it's going to be Hunter. It's going to be Hunter. I double check my list here. I forgot it was Priest or Hunter. I double checked my list. It's Hunter. So Hunter, they have a lot of cards that they would be better in other rotations. Like, I think Clear the Way, Diving Griffin, those would be a lot better in other rotations. Their problem is that the sets rotating in suck. Like, they have like 3 good cards that are coming in or rotating in, and they're Kindly Grandmother, their Steam Weedle, Sniper, and I forget the third. I forget the third one. I would have to check that one. Hold on, let me check the third one. They have, hold on. So they have 3 cards. They have Steam Wheel Sniper. They have. Let me check this. Pull up my Hunter thing because I wrote this down. Venom Strike Trap. And the only card they're getting from Rostercon's Rumble is Headhunter's Hatchet. So they got 4 cards that are an 80 or above. Comparatively, right now in Wild, they have 12 cards that are 80 or above. And like they're getting a couple cards here, but overall they're just going to have a really, really low power level, even with how good some of these cards are. Like they still have the Puncher's Chance because they can hero power you down, but I just don't see them doing all that much. And finally, rounding out the bottom is going to be Priest. Priest, like they got a couple of dragon cards, but I think these cards, like they're good, but I don't think they're like good enough to win on their own. And I don't think it's reliable enough for Priest to get enough dragons to get this all the time. And then when you take a look at the cards that are rotating in, they got like Mass Hysteria is their one good card. And then everything else is just fine. And that's basically their problem. They don't have enough really strong stuff. They don't have the tools necessary. There are no Entombs. There are no Light Bombs. There are no Psychic Screams. There are no Plague of Deaths. There are no cards like that that can make Control Priest a thing. And they don't really have enough like tempo cards to really play on the board. So ultimately, I think they're going to have the worst time in Descent of Dragons, and they are going to be the number 9 class. All right. One more time, I want to thank everybody who has tuned in for watching the video. As I mentioned, if you like these videos, please give a like. Please share them with any Hearthstone friends you have. If there's enough support, I will end up doing this again. And thank you, and have a fun Descent of Dragons expansion.